As with a lot of students, coming out of secondary school, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I had an interest in IT as well as business, so I decided to look at one of the courses in DIT called Business Computing. I was lucky enough to get an internship with Guidewire. It was a 6-month role. It was split into 2 parts, 3 months downstairs with customer-facing applications, and then 3 months with the core applications. So it was kind of split into kind of back-end development and front-end development. I would work on the customer-facing applications in Guidewire. I'd work on back-end development, so we have a language which is based off Java called Gosu, and we also work with front-end technology such as JavaScript, Angular, React, HTML, CSS. I'd work every day making sure the back-end can talk to the front-end and that the UI on the front-end is acceptable for customers. We split our work into a number of 2-week sections called sprints. As part of a sprint, we would have one sprint planning session as well as a sprint retrospective. We'd have a daily stand-up, and in that stand-up we'd talk about what we did the previous day, what we plan to do for the day coming up, as well as if there's any blockers or if there's any issues anybody in the team is facing. The skill that I would say is the most important for me is attention to detail. If you're debugging a piece of code, you're trying to find out why something isn't working, you could be going through hundreds of lines of code, and it could be a missing semicolon, a missing digit, code formatted incorrectly, which could be causing the build to fail. Teamwork plays a massive part in software engineering on a daily basis. One of the main things that was portrayed to me on my internship was everybody in the company is approachable. Every team member, regardless if they're senior, junior, architect, manager, you can approach them at any time, ask them a question. I really like trying to work through a problem and trying to find out why something isn't working or how to get it working, how to optimize it to get the best result. And even if we're working through a small little defect and you're trying for ages, trying to understand why it's not working, the final result is very satisfying when you see it. Within my first 2 weeks as an internship in Guidewire, the first thing, or one of the main things that stuck with me, was find your area of expertise. If you find your area of expertise, whether that's front-end development, back-end development, databases, management, if you're interested in it, if you're kind of happy with what you do, you're more likely to kind of progress with that, stick with it, and excel in that area. In the line of work that I do, we use a lot of the latest technologies on our front-end application. Keeping up to date with those front-end technologies can be a bit difficult sometimes. This type of job, you're constantly learning. Stuff that you've learned a couple of years ago could be replaced with something in a completely new framework, completely new architecture. It is interesting to keep up to date, but keeping up to date all the time can be a bit of a challenge.